adoption friends. My name is Lauren. As you can see, it is New Year's Eve in my home. So listen, it's been a rough year. So bye-bye 2020. We are not sad to see you go. Although I will say all experiences are good experiences if you learn something from them, right? But you know what? I've got something to say to 2021. Okay, you ready? It's on my shirt. Not today. Say not today. Should say not this year. No, sir. We're going to walk in real nice like. No, take it easy. So it's been a rough year. I know. So let's talk New Year's resolutions. So I just wanted to get on here with you for a few minutes tonight and just say bye-bye 2020 and hello 2021. I know it has been such a rough year with COVID and people have lost jobs and houses, and it has been rough to say the least. As a foster and adoptive parent, it is snowballing is, I guess, I don't know how else to put that. So some of you have done remote learning for the first time, right? That's been an experience, right? Especially for our kids that really need a lot of stability and need a lot of structure, right? And then we get to see them all day, every day. I know. So I'm a homeschool mom. I can't really complain, but I will tell you that lack of structure was a doozy. Then add in all the anxiety from COVID, and I don't just mean my own anxiety or the world's anxiety, but like take into account I have kids with like clinical depression and anxiety, and then you throw COVID on top and you take away their schedule, and then they're stuck at home because maybe a sibling's been exposed or they've been exposed, or it's just a lot. It's a lot. And I know this year has probably had its own struggles. On top of that, if like none of that other stuff was going on, then we've also got to deal with things like hard placements. Am I getting too deep on you guys? Right? You know what I'm talking about? Those placements that maybe weren't the appropriate placements for your home, or maybe they're the exact appropriate placements, but they're just sucking every bit of loving life out of you. Maybe even grieving the loss of some sort of normalcy that we had at some point in our lives, whether it be with some of the kids in our home or just life in general with all the craziness going on in 2020. It's been a lot, and I totally hear you. I'm watching friends struggle left and right, and my heart goes out to all of you that are really struggling hard. And listen, I don't want to diss 2020, because at the same time, being former foster youth, looking back on my life, seeing those hard times, being in foster care, you know what? As crazy as it sounds, I wouldn't trade any of it for the world, because it made me who I am today. And while it doesn't define me, those experiences grew me as a human being. So I needed those things to happen in my life. I mean, I wouldn't want those things for other people maybe, but they were learning experiences, and therefore I'm sort of strangely grateful for them, if that makes any kind of sense. So as far as 2020 goes, I wouldn't erase it. I wouldn't take it away. There are definitely some great glasses full moments that have come out of it. I've gotten to know my kids a little better, being home with some of my kids that normally would have gone to public school. We've gotten a lot of downtime, which is something I need, because we're going to talk about in a minute. I have a real hard time saying no. So if somebody needs help, I really want to help them. If somebody needs someone to sign up for something, I really want to sign up for something. So it's been giving me an excuse to kind of take a minute and take a breath and breathe and be okay with that. So I appreciate that part. But we are going to talk now a little bit about New Year's resolutions. So listen, I don't know what your New Year's resolutions are for this year, and I would love to tell you mine change every year, but they're all usually about, I'm going to get fit this year. I'm really going to exercise really well and like lose that weight that I gained over. I have the same one every year, and because I have high hopes for summer. That's what it is. And it sometimes it falls out, but I do. But all that to say, let's get a little deeper. So we have those kind of surface level New Year's resolutions, but what about some kind of foster care, adoption, foster mama, adoption mama, foster dad, adoption dad kind of New Year's resolutions? All right, New Year's resolution number 1. We're going to learn this year to say no. All right, say no to all the busyness and all the craziness. And when somebody needs somebody to sign up for something, we're not going to be the first one to do it, because I know I'm not the only one that is at my wit's end, brink of everything I'm capable of, barely treading water. And I'm like, I'll sign up for that. I know you do it too. So this year, we're going to give ourselves permission to say no. And I know that can be hard. Maybe it's no to a really inappropriate placement for our home. Maybe it's no to a caseworker that's being really pushy. Maybe it's no to sign up for the PTA when you've got like 20 kids in your house. I mean, maybe it's just no, because at the end of the day, my kids need me too. I tend to be the kind of person who signs up for like a ton of stuff. And then by the time I get home, my kids get like the last little ounce of my energy. And here's the deal. My kids are the kids who need it the most in my life. So I'm going to try to save that energy for them. And that is why I'm going to say no. So permission to say no. All right. New Year's resolution. Number 2. We're going to learn to rest. What was that? Rest? What is this rest thing I'm talking about? So if you know me, you know I'm kind of a fan of naps. All right. So, I mean, I try to squeeze them in when I can. I'm just kind of a naturally tired person. I feel like I'm always tired. And people say, but Lauren, it's because you have 10 kids. Trust me, I'm not chasing them around. I don't have kids in diapers. I don't have toddlers. Listen, for those of you who have a house full of toddlers and babies, can I just tell you that like you're my hero? Because I have older kids and teenagers, and I will just say like, it really does get easier. At least I feel like it gets easier, because I can't even imagine that stage right now of like going through Walmart and like having little crying people. I don't know. Bless you and your awesome family. But anyway, back to rest. So New Year's resolution, get some rest. And for you, look, in your busy life, when you get out there and you're doing your appointments and you're getting it done, and maybe you're in the PTA, and maybe you're dealing with your case in court for your kids and taking them to therapy, and then you've got a million kids and you get home and they've got needs and anxiety and all this kind of stuff. Where do you find the rest? So listen, if you can't take a nap, and I get it, like some of us every once in a while, I'm going to like a 10-minute nap to slide it on in. If you can. And I'll say this again in this video, but maybe you and your partner can tap out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you and your spouse can tap out, you know, take turns if you need to. But sometimes that rest may look like literally just going in the bathroom and taking a minute. And I mean that with every bit of sincerity. Look, I mean, we might joke like go hide in the closet and eat a cookie, or like, I don't know, go, you know, try to sit in the corner of a room where people don't usually hang out and drink a cup of coffee, or whatever you need to do. But I am dead serious when I say there are times I just need to go to the bathroom and cry for a minute. I just need to go and have like a minute, and then like I can calm and like wipe away the mascara and like deal with life. And that is okay. Give yourself permission to rest, to take a break, to take a minute, to say time out. Mom needs a timeout. And if you want to kick and scream, that's awesome. And definitely I want to make sure my people are safe, make sure they're safe, they're well, calm them down. But then mom might need a minute, and that's okay. Give yourself permission to take a break, to rest, to breathe, to pray, to do whatever you need to do to regulate yourself. All right. Next New Year's resolution, show yourself some grace. And I mean it. Show yourself some grace. Stop beating up on yourself. And you know you do it, because I do it too. And you know you're doing it if you're staying up late at night thinking about every conversation you had throughout that day and that week and that entire year, and reliving it in your mind. Did I say that right? Did I do that right? Did I handle that well? Look, show yourself some grace, because I know a lot of us foster parents, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders at times. And a lot of us put more pressure on ourselves than anybody else in our world. So I'm telling you right now, show yourself some grace. Quit beating up on yourself and let yourself know, look, you are doing your best. I'm going to tell you right now, if you can't tell yourself, you are doing your best. And if you haven't been, well, you know, try your hardest next year. But you are doing your best, and that is good enough. And you are good enough, all right? And you deserve some grace, and that's okay. Show yourself some grace. All right, so we're going to go back to self-care. So what if we gave ourselves permission this year to take care of ourselves? And that might look like a few things. We already talked about rest. So how else can we show some self-care, right? Exercise. And before you're like, that's a good one, that's just not my jam. Look at it. Maybe it's not your jam. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I could get into a little bit of the reasons I do it. I do it because it helps my anxiety and my depression, and I kind of need it. Like, it is my therapy. There are days when I am feeling so cruddy and I have a cruddy attitude and I'm stomping around. My husband's like, you need to go exercise. Like, you need just go exercise and come back normal. And that's part of my therapy. And I can't tell you how many other moms have told me that they hate exercising. They loathe getting up to do it. They loathe getting dressed and actually doing it. But after the fact, with those endorphins going, they are feeling good and they're feeling some kind of way. So I'm just letting you know, give it a try, even if it means a walk. And that's another thing, getting outside in the sunshine, there is just something it does to our minds. Because when we're busy, like a lot of us foster moms and foster dads, right? We'll take all the care in the world for our kids, but we're not taking that care for ourselves. And I know I've got one kid in particular, anxiety, depression, and I will tell her often, you need to get outside. I don't care if you walk slowly down the street, but you need to get out there and you need to kind of be in the sun for a second. And that's okay. All right. Take that time and get out there in the sun. Maybe you do the exercise in the sunshine together. And I know it's about to be winter time. All right. So maybe that exercise looks like something different for you, but give it a try. Another thing, eating healthy. I know I hate it too. I freaking hate it. I want cheese. I want chocolate. I want all the things, which is why I also work out, because I really am the worst when it comes to food. My husband will tell you, there's some things I prioritize in this world, and sleep and food are like right at the top. But try to eat some healthy stuff, man. Get some of those healthy things in your body, and that way you won't feel so cruddy when you put the other stuff in there. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. But maybe self-care, once again, looks like just going off on your own and taking a minute, allowing yourself to cry. Like sometimes I just need to cry. Like sometimes this is like, today has been a heavy day in my house. It really has. I won't get into that. But I'll tell you what, I need to go by myself and cry. I needed to throw a little pity party for myself. And then I needed to stand up and dust off and try again. And you know what? Maybe you have to do that 2 or 3 times and then repeat and then come back. And that's okay too. And also, don't underestimate the power of therapy. And I'll talk about this in another video. I love therapy. I really do. Not just for my kids, but for myself as an adult. And I don't think you had to have had a hard childhood to go to therapy, but some of us need therapy. And just because you go doesn't mean like you're going to have to go forever or they're going to mess with your brain. I mean, you can go and just kind of get on a good track and then stop going when you're feeling better. I personally think I'm kind of always a hot mess, even when I am feeling better. Sometimes that's the worst time because I feel like I'm doing good. And a lot of times that's when I'm stuffing my feelings. So don't be afraid to seek out therapy. And when did we start making therapy this ugly word? I don't understand that. Therapy is a good thing, and we should all try it at some point. And last but not least, one more New Year's resolution. Why don't we say no to toxic people? Let's just cut them out of our lives. And let's call it out for what it is. When people are trying to come in and bash what we're doing or really try to twist what we're doing or cut it out, right? Call it out for what it is. Say, hey, I don't like that. It's called boundaries. I'm still learning those myself at 40 years old, but it's okay to have boundaries with people and say hey, this goes back to the saying no thing. Hey, this isn't good for my family right now. Hey, this isn't good for me right now. This isn't good for my mental health. So I need to step away from this. I need to step away from this person. And it's not because I'm unloving or I'm mean, but maybe I just need a break and once again, to go take my break. And so I can dust off and come back later to it. So toxic people out. And I know what you're saying. What if the toxic people live in my house? Because we've all thought it. Listen, foster mom and foster dad, that is where my heart goes out to you because I know that it's so hard every single day to be on this kind of grind we feel like we're on with our kids. Our kids can be so hard and we love it. I mean, we keep going back for more, right? We want to be there for these awesome kids and give them a safe place to land and cheer them on and help them get through some of the issues that they're facing and really be a good support system. But that is so wearing on us. So my hope for you for 2021 is to take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself. Look, I'm on your team. I'm part of your community. I hope that you see this as almost like a virtual support group, virtual get together. I wish we could be sitting across each other, having a cup of coffee together, but we can't, right? We're over YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're following me. But I just want to encourage you through the screen. You are doing so awesome. And I know 2021 may be just as hard as 2020, but if anyone can handle it, it is you. And I am so excited for you and your journey. If you're new to this, welcome. If you've been doing this forever, man, keep trugging along, and we are so grateful for what you do. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Happy New Year, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Happy New Year! Do a little part. Cut that part out, Kaya.